You ever have your curiosity get the best of you and you do something even though you probably know you might not should do it, at least not at this time? Mine has got the best of me, and I'm gonna do it even though there's a couple reasons I probably shouldn't, but I need to know. Okay, so as you can see, I'm in my bee suit, and that is what I'm doing today that, I probably might not should be doing it. Well, doing what I'm gonna do. What I'm doing today is I'm wanting to look to see if my virgin queens are started laying. Have started laying, not are started laying. About 2 weeks ago, I was going through some of my hives, and one of the hives had a bunch of queen cells in it. I was really careful and cut those queen cells out, and I'd made me a queen rearing frame. What it is, let me show you. On this frame there are 3 pieces. This piece here I've nailed to the frame, and it holds everything. The next piece is this right here, and I very gently stuck that queen cell up on this, and then I put it in this queen cage very gently, and then I mounted these back on here. That way these queen cells were completely capped and ready to hatch. I had no idea when they were going to hatch, but as many queen cells as I had, I thought, hey, I can make up some nucs. I've got people wanting nucs, and I can also expand my apiary. So I ended up doing 6 queen cells on this, and then making a couple of splits with some other frames. 5 out of 6 of those hatched. And then last week I ended up making these mini mating nucs, taking frames out of some of my big hives down through there and putting some brood, some food in these, and then releasing those queens into those. Now, I am by far not no expert on queen rearing, but I'm giving it a shot. What I've read and what I've looked at is it takes anywhere from 7 to 14 days when you release a queen for her to get adjusted, go out, get mated, and come back and start laying eggs. There is a little bit of danger going into these too early because the virgin queen could have not left on a mating flight yet. She's still smaller, and you could roll her up, smush her. She could actually just come out the top because they're really flighty. She could come out the top, fly away, and not know right where her hive is at and to come back to. Or you could disrupt her return flight and she's out getting mated and coming back, and you're in front of it. When a bee leaves, they'll come out of the hive and circle it and kind of get their internal GPS kind of calculated in. They see what their hive looks like, where it's situated, what direction it's facing, and then if I'm in front of it, I could disrupt that return pattern. But with our busy schedule and everything that we got going on, the weather like it is, I really want to go into these, and I can't hardly help myself. The other reason I probably should not be doing this is because in doing all this, I made 2 other splits with Lane's hives. He's wanting to sell a couple of nucs and make some money, and when I done them, I actually put, let me get that adjusted, it don't look right. I actually put a couple of queens in queen cages in his, because when you introduce a queen to a new hive, you got to do it slowly so they can get kind of adapted, acclimated, or I don't know the right word for it, but get accustomed to the smell of that queen and accept her, I guess you'd say. So I put them all in these in queen cages for about 5 hours and just put the lids on them and walked away, come back. Ended up releasing them in all of these. And then in Lane's, this hat is just kind of funny. And then in Lane's down there, when I went to release them, the bees just balled up on the queen and rolling her up and trying to sting her. That right there is a sure tell sign that they're not going to accept that queen. I ended up leaving them in there for the rest of the night, and the next day, that next evening, I come back out and tried it again, because when they balled up on them, I actually separated them out and put them back in queen cages, put them back in that hive, trying to give her a longer period of time to adjust to that colony. But when I come back out the next day, they done the same thing. So I pulled those queens out of there and put some fresh eggs, there's like 2, 3, 4 day old eggs, and you're really looking for that 2 and 3 day old larva. I said 3 and 4 day old eggs, but they're actually hatched and turned into little bitty larvae. You're looking for that. That's what they're going to make a queen out of, to make their own queen for that hive. So since they didn't accept them, I've put frames in them, and I think they're down there making them. I've taken a peek and it looked like they'd started. But with them being queenless, that makes a hive really, really grumpy, and going through them just aggravates them even more. So here the last few days, they've been really grumpy around the farm. And Andrea was at the greenhouse the other day watering some flowers and plants, and one come up and stung her right on the chin. Of course, she got aggravated, said, "I'm done, tired of these things." And who wouldn't get tired of getting stung? And after you get stung, it kind of swells a little bit, but it really, really itches. And hers has been itching the last few days. So I'm gonna really try to make this fast. You wanna do it on a pretty day. Today is really pretty. The only bad part about today is it's kind of windy, and sometimes that can aggravate them. But my curiosity has got the best of me, and I really wanna see if I've got a laying queen in some of these boxes right here. We're going to be fast and really gentle. Really gentle. So what we've got here, we've got nectar, cap brood from where I made these splits. That brood should start hatching. If you're into beekeeping, it generally helps if you'll turn your frames at a little bit of an angle so you don't drag the sides coming up, just in case she's on the edge. Right here we got cap brood starting to emerge. They're eating their way out of the cells. All of these are worker bees. This here, this is a drone. It's a bigger bee, the male bee. Don't mistake that for a queen. And there's another queen cell. And if you can see up in there, that white substance is royal jelly. That's what they feed the queen bee. Okay. There is a possibility she's on the side of the box down in there, but with them making 2 queen cells, it's not very likely. And I definitely do not see any eggs. My particular way of keeping up with it, when they are queenless like that, I get me a brick and I stand it straight up. That way I know from just walking by that this one does not have a queen. Well, that was kind of bad news. I didn't find a queen. Not saying she's not there, not saying she's not out on her mating flight, but I did not find one in any of those 4 mating nucs. All right, going through this last one. You see that big old queen right there? That's awesome. She just needs more room to lay. Going through my last box here that had the brick standing up on it like this. I wasn't able to find the queen the last 2 times I looked, and I can figure out exactly what's going on here. Trying to get it. Well, it's hard to do this with the bees and the sunlight, so you can see. I don't know which one's going to come in. I'll crop in on one. But you look down in the bottom of each one of these holes, there's hundreds of eggs. Well, a worker bee can lay an egg, but they haven't been mated, so they're not fertile eggs. And all they're going to make is a bunch of drones. And you're never going to find a laying worker in your hive to get rid of it. So the only way that I've learned to get rid of them is you got to take them away from their source, dump the box out, shake all the bees off. You can bring the box back because your forager bees know their way back, but the worker bees that have never left the hive, they don't know how to get back. So just take it about 100 yards away, shake all the bees off, and then bring it back, and you'll at least have your forager bees back. You can put a fresh frame of eggs or just hatched larvae in there, and they should raise you another queen. Well, make that twice now. I've been stung through the rubber gloves. That one was my fault. I smushed her between my thumb and the frame, and she got me. But all in all, rubber gloves work really well. You can definitely feel a whole lot better on your frames and such. Man, it's getting windy. I really hope this year we have a really good honey harvest. I did lose 11 hives through the winter, and so my numbers are down. I'm gradually building them back up. I'll get there. But so far what I've looked at, the frames and the honey supers are pretty packed, and they're starting to cap them off. I've actually added more honey supers to them, and we're going to be harvesting honey before too long. So make sure you're subscribed to our website also, because we'll post a lot of things on there, of course, and on videos, but it's liable to go on the website first and then the video following a day or two later. Appreciate y'all watching. I've got to get busy on another job. We'll see y'all next time. God bless.